Welcome to Crescent City with your hosts Natalie Jean and Jackie Zabrowski.
Leheba, Jessiba. That's good for vocal
Tongue work?
tests.
Yeah. I
Vocal
love
warm-ups.
doing my tongue work. Yeah. Now I'm ready. Oh my God, you were recording? You shouldn't have heard that.
No.
Oh no. I guess it's just because we're sexy, bad angels.
Or
today.
am I? We don't know if I'm bad.
Well,
or
we don't
not.
know. We don't know. We can't say this in this world, but I think a lot of these books have really put me off the idea of being angelic. I think it's
Yuck.
bad. I think it's no good.
Who wants to?
Who wants to be in heaven?
Sounds boring.
I don't think so. I
All
want
the
to
worst
be in
people
hell.
say they're going to heaven.
I
don't
know.
wanna go
I don't want to
there.
be in heaven with all of them. I just realized that my wig is making a consistent sound as it rustles up against my wings, which, it's hard out here for an angel.
I can't hear it, so it
Thank
must just
you.
be in your own head.
That's what it sounds like over here.
Wow.
I
I
have
guess I kind of hear that on mine too.
a little bit. I have on a silver bodycon dress
You look
right
great.
now.
This wig is.
Thank
you are
you.
slaying this wig.
Thank you so much. And now I'm like, do I dye my hair black and then put these because this is like a lived-in blonde. I love this wig.
It does have really cute highlights.
Right? Like you barely see them highlights, but it gives.
Do you want to live your life a virgin, or do you want to defile your hair? As somebody, you've never once dyed your hair, which still is amazing to me.
I know, I'm scared of doing it. I feel like once you pop, the fun don't stop.
Well,
right?
I do think as soon as you start doing, you will be like, all of the colors.
Every color. Are you going to go back to the deep orange that you were talking about?
Me?
Yes.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, God. Do any of us? I don't think so.
I'm not going to go with this color and cut because I do not care for it.
I think that it brings out your wings. I think it's good.
I look like a little 1920s boy stealing candy from a candy shop.
You do look like you need a cartoonishly large lollipop.
Yeah.
And for you to go, Misters, I swears I didn't steal it.
Until you see my rippling pecs.
Yeah, and then I go, of course, those are the pecs of a criminal. That's what I think. I mean, anytime I
Or
see
an anti-hero.
pecs-
We don't know.
Whoa, we don't know. We don't know yet. Oh my God. I had a dream that you were a sexy baby and I'm a monster on the hill. Yeah, that's for my Swifties out there for the song Anti-Hero.
Was that a lyric, or were you saying you actually had a dream about me?
Well, I didn't have a dream that you were a sexy baby, but I do have you in my dreams fairly often.
I think that's normal. You can't, apparently the internet told me you can't make new faces up in your dreams, but that could just be like on a thing somebody said on Reddit.
And you see no faces. That's the word on the street, is that you see no faces. And now I try to actively look at the faces, but I wish I had dream control. I need to start, what is it? You snap the bracelet, You flick the light, You got to do these things. This is how we start dream controlling.
What's it called? Astral project?
Well, that I don't think has anything to do with the bracelet snappings and the lights flipping.
I have no idea what you're speaking about.
Whoa. So apparently there are things you're supposed to add into your everyday life so that you can start becoming more aware if you are in a dream or if you're in reality. So it's the idea is in real life, when you enter a room, flick on and off the lights, and you see the lights go on, you see the lights go off. But in your dream, if you start adding that into your everyday life, and then in your dream, you'll go in and flick on the lights, flick off the lights, flick on the lights, but they won't do anything. So then you'll know that you're in a dream. Same with your bracelets. I'm sure there's more science behind this than what I'm saying about it, but this is what I loosely know about it.
What is it supposed to do?
It's supposed to make you more aware. So it's supposed to bring you, to snap you in to, see if you are in control of your body or if you're not. Scary.
I mean,
scary.
I feel
Everybody.
as though that's the beginning of, every sci-fi movie that's ever existed. I feel like you're not supposed to fully be able to control your brain in that way.
Bracelet. Yeah, but we should be controlling our brains because Lord help us, I'm just over here dreaming about you as a sexy baby, apparently.
Well,
Very difficult for me.
Yeah, in my dreams, I know it's people. If I can't, I guess maybe I'm not seeing their faces, but I know it's a person. You know what I mean? I know who that person is. So you just assuming your mind is just like putting somebody you already know onto
I
the
think
character.
so. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what it's supposed to be. But also, I get hunted a lot in my dreams, which turns out is anxiety.
I do as well.
Ugh, see, and so I'm not really usually looking at the faces. Usually, I'm just in like abject horror. So
I get a
that's
lot.
fun though. It's
Do
fun
you
this way.
do you get a lot of I get constantly trying to run up that hill but can't. You're just like it's
Oh,
really like you can't move fast. Like
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
it
you're under, like you're in molasses.
I get it. I hate it. I hate the feeling so much, and it is so frustrating and upsetting.
And that's like the point of it or something.
Mm,
I don't know. I guess that should I be smoking less weed so I remember the dreams more? Or is it for the best that I'm not remembering them?
I don't know. I don't know if there's a better way or not. I don't know if there's like a recommendation, but I remember my dreams too much a lot of the time.
Maybe you should be smoking more weed because this is the thing is I used to be a drunk and then I would never remember any of my dreams because I don't think I was dreaming at all because I was blacked out and so I would just didn't know. So when people say, "Oh, you smoke weed," that means you don't remember your dreams. Like I think it kind of helped me remember my
Hmm.
dreams more.
Okay.
So it's not the weed, everybody. I don't have a problem.
You have a solution.
Thank you. This is big upping each other, and I appreciate
Yeah.
you, and I appreciate, you know what, I'm going to say it. I appreciate the wig. I am scared of you.
It's doing a lot of work
I
today.
need to start calling you Fauntleroy. Oh, Fauntleroy, what do you have to say?
Can you tell who I am?
No?
Oh, you don't know?
No.
Oh, come on, guess.
No, I want to find out.
How many people have white wings in this?
Let it wash over me. Let me feel it in my bones, Natalie.
I feel as though actually this could be multiple characters in this book.
Whoa. So now you're trying to juke me?
Yeah.
You're trying to wait, trivia my brain and then juke me?
I guess.
I don't trust you at all. I trust you as much as I would trust any angel in my life. And that's not a
Not
lot.
at all. You shouldn't. If anybody says that they are that, they're
You
usually
run
trying
away.
to hide
Say, you
something.
ain't no angel. You a devil, and I know it.
No, you want a devil around. They're better.
Yeah, and I say, yes, I should. I should put a little extra in my drink. And by extra, I mean THC drops. I
Okay.
didn't. These are sober. This is a sober coffee and my sober tropical fruit Waterloo. But I won't start talking about how obsessed I am with tropical fruit Waterloo. But I will open
Seems
it.
like you are starting.
It's just good.
We're in a ravine, baby.
Uh-oh, take us to the ravine.
Part 4. We're in the ravine, the deepest of the holes.
Quite a chasm for us to nestle into.
Yeah. Strangely, no, I guess, chapter called the chasm or no part called the chasm.
Yeah.
Right?
But I guess
Precipice?
I dare say the ravine pretty close to a chasm.
A ravine sounds
Right?
pretty big.
I think you're looking out over a chasm. I don't know necessarily what that means, but if I were to assume geography, and I do it all the time,
Mhm.
you would stand upon a ravine and look out over a
Oh,
chasm.
really
But
interesting.
See,
I was thinking it was the hole.
I may have made that up.
I don't know.
I'm gonna be again. I know everybody comes here for my science, for my doctor skills, because I say, put a hole in the neck. That's how you make them breathe. That's what everybody says. Oh, they're choking. Put a hole in that neck.
Oh, God.
I had to go through this. I got really, really scared a couple of years ago. I wanted to get Jeff some like really good medical supply, like medical emergency kits. Like if he had to like make a splint and we couldn't get to
He
the
does
doctor.
like that stuff.
He likes that stuff. So I had to do a bunch of research into like what kind of stuff you need to have. And I found this company that makes like really like very in-depth, and it also explains to you like what if last minute somebody's choking and you have to shove a pen into their neck. So he knows how to do all that stuff. And so in my brain, I'm just like, get the pen. Make them breathe. Get the pen.
You thinking about this a lot?
Nobody's asking me for help in an emergency.
Well, everybody reach out. Let us know if you would ask Jackie for help in an emergency. And also let us know if a ravine is the hole or if a ravine is the place you stand upon to look into the hole.
It's almost as if we've got these devices in front of us that we could look up the information.
I will
but
not.
No, I
absolutely will not.
You can't take away from me what a ravine is, and I'm looking out over into that chasm.
Okay. Well, there we go.
And I say, there's a hole in this planet.
All I
Mother
know,
Earth, Mother Earth.
it's a reverse hill. Upside down.
You're
in
right.
Reverse.
Titties on the earth.
Everything in part 4 is not great.
No, it's bad.
Yeah. Worse even more because though maybe Bryce had to go through the agony of the murders already, she's now been told that her best friend committed the murders.
You better not be hiding any murders over there that you have done and you haven't told me about, because I'm going to be really upset with you, Natalie.
Not that I remember. Hopefully that's the end of the story.
Whoa, fugue state murders.
I'm covering
the Natalie Jean story.
I'm covering satanic ritual abuse on my other show, and
Fun. So it's silly.
It's wacky. I'll call it wacky.
You could bring the facts into here. I'm sure I'll be like, wow.
During the satanic panic, people got falsely accused of satanic ritual abuse, and some of them who were very devout people were just finally like, I don't remember, but maybe I did do it. Maybe I did have a satanic cult. I don't know.
This is just like Love is Blind. When it's very similar, because she thought after she saw him for the first time that he had already slid into her DMs and that he knew the entire time what she looked like when she was supposed to say love is blind. And then she's like, I know that I saw him. I saw a picture of him in front of a Christmas tree. It was him. He knows I love family and faith. He knows. So he looked at my Instagram. And then she gets her phone back and he never did. And she's just like, I could have sworn it was you.
That's kind of mental.
In that portion, though, with the satanic panic, if you're being told you're being satanic all over the place, don't you kind of just want to give in at that point? I feel like then go do it.
They're bastardizing what Satanism is, and they're saying they're doing bad stuff.
Oh.
Like stuff you don't want to do.
Oh, I don't want to do that, but I like the principles of Satanism. But,
Yeah.
all right. I guess everyone should learn a little bit more then.
Yeah, probably.
Think about that.
So she's learned that Danica is allegedly the one who killed the entire wolf pack.
No good.
And the person she thought she was falling in love with seems to have been lying to her and using her for his own selfish needs.
You betrayed us.
I hate this part so much. I can't believe this fourth part. There's so much that happens. It's kind of crazy. It's like the shortest part, I think, or close to the shortest part, and it is
juicy,
jam-packed.
It's juicy.
It almost ends twice, kind of.
Yes, and I do, like, part of me will always wonder, it's like, was she rushed in the end and that she had to, like, get in all this stuff? Because I feel like it could have breathed a little bit, but, oh, hell no. We are on a just, like, sluice? Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Toboggan? Sluice?
I think so.
We're on it, and we're moving fast.
And I feel like maybe we don't need more pages of the book.
You're right. You are right. I just, there's just a lot in there. They're big books. They're big
old books. We start off being with Hunt in part 4. He is sitting in his holding cell and seems pretty resigned to his fate, which is going to be not good.
Well, that's what happens when you play with fire.
I mean, he did not make good choices.
No.
His prison cell is modern, and he's thinking about that because his captivity in Panjara was quite different. It was very much more medieval. Though he hasn't begun getting physically tortured yet, they are broadcasting the fate of his cohorts, which we talked about last week. It's nasty work. He also mentions that Justinian's wings have been cut off and left under his bleeding body.
Cool. So they did both of it. It was a double punishment. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Angels.
I think also just logistically, if you're going to be crucified,
I guess how do you get it up there? Yeah, they're kind of in the way there. You're not going to lay flat up against the cross. And I mean, that's really what we're looking for. I want it flush.
Yeah, you got to get it right up in there. So although it's a horrific sight, he doesn't turn away from the images. Instead, watches his companions suffering, as I'm sure he believes it's what he deserves.
Maybe it is.
I mean, I'm not saying he deserves to go through torture, but I'm mad at him. I'm very mad at him.
I'm a Leo, all right? It's really hard for me to turn back my trust, okay? And right now, I don't have it for you.
To me?
No, I'm gesticulating towards Hunt in my computer.
It's fun to watch you as Sandriel being upset at Hunt because she wouldn't ever be.
No.
No. You have to turn on your bitchometer.
Yeah, I need to be bitchier, and I should be talking more like this.
Is that her voice too?
Yeah, I guess. No, it would be so lilting.
Oh, it would be seductive as
It
hell.
would be so seductive. And even with this, when I opened up this wig, Jeff was like, that looks a lot like your hair. I was like, no. This looks like an angel's version of my hair. I mean, I appreciate that.
It looks very natural on you, but it's, it's got highlights and stuff in it. So
I've been watching all these reality shows.
Well, you definitely look like a bit of a Real Housewife, but in like the best way possible.
Yes, I appreciate that because they all have these extensions, and I've started like in the way that Jeff has started after Physical 100. Jeff would explain to me what natty versus not natty is. I feel like I'm now doing that, but with hair extensions, and I'm trying to seek out who has hair extensions because I've never had them before. But I imagine that how do you not think about them all the time?
They're very uncomfortable.
Are they?
I think they are.
Don't you feel? I feel like I would in the way that I feel fake nails on. Don't you feel them attached to your head all the time?
I used to wear glue tracks all the time, and
you glue them in by yourself.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't have money.
Whoa,
it was not healthy.
So you're just pouring glue on the top of your head?
Well, no, you glue you put glue on the track, and then you part your hair and you glue it on.
Okay,
but I was doing not a good job. Like I was ripping every time I pulled them out, like hair was just being ripped out of my scalp.
Well, because it turns out if you don't do that, because I've been talking about it, I was like, I wonder how crazy extensions, in case you never looked them up, they're a little expensive.
Well, yeah, if you want nice ones, yeah.
Oh my God. I was like, didn't realize there was, I guess it's not gatekeeping though, because you can get cheap ones if you know how to put them in.
Also, good extensions you can use multiple times. Like you can take them on and off, and like they can be reused.
Oh, maybe I can start living in an extension where I won't.
It's fun. Come on, you gotta have some fun with your hair.
I'm scared of the hair. Scared of the hair. And you have. I'm just so nervous about it. It's like what is done cannot be undone, as if your hair can't grow out, and it definitely can be undone.
Yeah, it will. It will grow out.
So maybe I'll talk myself into it by the end of one of these books. Who knows?
So he's watching all of this play out on the screen in front of him, and
nice that they have TVs in the torture rooms. Now that's a modern torture room.
But it's just showing other torture.
Yeah, it is definitely like the public access of Moida.
Yeah.
Which lots of people like true crime. I believe that's what this network is built on the back of.
Try not to deal with it in real time. But
no, what are you talking about? We've got torture TVs everywhere in here. How are we supposed to get through the episode? If I ain't seeing them squirming, I ain't getting to the yapping.
I couldn't even get through Faces of Death or anything. I can't watch that shit.
I'm making my japes. I don't even like torture porn, and that's overtly not real, you know?
I hate it. I can't watch nearly any of it.
I was even upset during the Baldwins when they showed the scene where he finds
we're not talking about the Baldwins.
I just say I don't need to see.
We have to talk about this. I don't need to see
the footage.
But wait, they talk about Rust?
Oh, it's all about that bitch.
Oh,
it
my
is so
God.
disgusting.
That is
literally all of the headlines
horrifying.
Are a new low for reality television. Go check out page 7 if you want to hear us screaming about it.
Wow.
It's a new low for reality television. I don't need to bring Alec Baldwin into every single thing that I do. It's at the forefront of my mind right now.
That is bleak.
Very bleak. Very, very upsetting. And honestly, sadly enough, I do kind of weirdly feel bad for him at the end of the first episode. And you know who I hate even more? Ilaria. But that's it. That's all I will say about it.
Get it out. Got it out.
I just need to let it all out. I'm sorry.
So Isaiah ends up showing up in the middle of this first chapter that we're getting into. He appears in front of the cell wanting to speak with Hunt. And he's not mad. He's just disappointed.
It's like, do we need this when I'm in the middle of a torture? It's like, I know he's not getting tortured just yet, but it's like, I don't need disappointment.
He asks Hunt the questions we are all having, which is, why would you do this right now? What good could have come from it in the end? But Hunt just brushes him off. He kind of just says, I didn't want to kill anymore for Micah. I wanted it to be over. Almost as if his desire for, in my opinion, maybe his desire for Bryce was like, I don't want to do this life anymore. I want to have this life. I want to start this life now. Except doing this would only cause it to be more difficult to get to that. So he's like, yeah, I fucked up. I did.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, dude.
So he is now just like, yeah, I screwed up.
Are you?
I'm here
No,
now.
you're not Micah.
Yeah.
Okay, you are Micah.
Yeah.
I guess the hair. I was like, I mean, blonde angel. I guess you're. But I think that I'm so busy thinking about you as like Daisy from The Great Gatsby.
Well,
and that
this
you're
is
wearing
a
like
1920s woman's way.
Okay, that it's given Page Boy. Okay, all
I
right,
didn't want to
thank
buy
you.
a whole wig for Micah.
I understand. I completely understand.
Yeah.
I think in my brain he just looked more like what's Draco Malfoy's father's name?
Lucian.
Lucian, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off! I didn't realize it's the same name. Fuck you. Fuck you, not you. JK.
Oh, as another character.
I know as Sham came after Harry Potter. Don't. I'm still saying it.
Don't come at me. Isaiah does not accept this answer from Hunt. He demands to know why he couldn't have just finished his sentence out. When Hunt shouts that he'll never accept the bit in his mouth, Isaiah suggests that he thought he had something that he was fighting for now, as in Bryce.
Dude, not cool and not fair.
Everyone, even though they haven't announced their feelings, everyone can obviously tell and smell it and all that. He tells Hunt that he's lucky that Micah will not harm Bryce, even though Micah probably considered it.
Yeah.
Which seems to be another thing Hunt should have considered when he was reaching out to the Viper Queen in the first place.
It's just all very, like, it's so interesting for someone that is so good at what he does that, like, leave the organization to somebody else. I feel like this is not your strong suit.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe it's also just getting, his first hard on for a while is like making his mind go all cuckoo.
Cuckoo bananas, mate.
He also informs Hunt that the reason that he himself, Hunt, is not being torture porn to death in the lobby is because Micah did see the text between Hunt and Justinian that was Hunt telling him they need to back out. We shouldn't do this. With the wind out of Hunt's sails, he simply tells Isaiah to tell Bryce that he's sorry, while thinking that Bryce's face will haunt him for the rest of his days.
I love you. I'm sorry.
A little late for that.
It is a little late for that. Isaiah's fingers lifted toward the bars, as if he'd reach for Hunt's hand, but then lowered back to his side.
I will. So everybody's sad. We cut over to Bryce a few days later from this interaction. She's in the Griffin Library. We learn through Leheba's watching the news at this moment that Justinian has died.
We'll say that's really probably great for a crucifixion that he bled out so fast.
Yeah,
you know?
You don't want it to linger on.
Although I guess how long does a crucifixion last? I mean, it has been days.
I don't know. Let me get Jesus on the phone here.
Ding dong donk. What's his number? 420? I say thanks Jesus for making the weeds.
That was
John Travolta?
1998
yeah.
comedy right there?
Yeah. Yeah, I contain multitudes. Start wearing like a Kermit Calvin Klein shirt where you can see his underpants and he's got his little frog arms crossed.
I mean, that's adorable. That's timeless.
Thank you.
So we learn, yes, Justinian has passed on. His corpse is being left on display for the time being. Bryce notes that the news has not revealed why these Triari soldiers have been killed. So they are being displayed and being publicly, degraded, but they're not revealing what has happened at all. And she notices that Hunt is not mentioned whatsoever on the news. Nothing about him. She doesn't know at this point if he's dead or alive. Leheba keeps attempting to broach the subject, asking what happened, where Hunt is, but Bryce is not doing well, obviously.
Why? It's like, get over it, bitch, right, guys?
Move on.
Easy.
She snaps at Leheba, eventually slamming the book she's reading closed and stomping upstairs to answer the door. It's not a customer, as she had assumed.
The Autumn King surveyed the gallery. The showroom stocked with priceless artifacts. The door that led up to Jessica's office, and the window in it that overlooked the floor.
She has the irrational thought that the Autumn King can somehow spot the Godslayer rifle that is displayed in pieces behind the closed door of Jessica's office.
It's like he's the last thing she needs right now.
Yeah, it's nothing good's coming from this.
Nah, dude.
She awkwardly stands there as he silently observes the room. When he doesn't speak, she suggests that maybe he's there to steal something, which he ignores the joke. Though she hates him, she marvels at his beauty, muscular with long red hair. His color is where she gets her wine red tresses. His fey aging gives him the appearance of being just a few years older than her. It's interesting to note his wardrobe. I always imagine him wearing silk robes and fancy suits and stuff, but he's dressed in black jeans and a long sleeve t-shirt like he's in a band.
Yes, and this is another one of these characters that in my head, because he's ugly on the inside, he's ugly on the outside, but we know he's not. He's also just really
so
hot.
Smoking hot.
You know he's so hot. And I wilt for a ginge. Gosh, but you're mean. You're a mean ginge.
All muscly. Finally, he...
muscly.
Muscly under that t-shirt. Finally, he deigns to speak. He tells her that Rune has informed him about everything that happened on the barge. It's Rune's job, after all. I don't blame him for having to report to it. The Autumn King informs her that the Fae government has assured her safety. She doesn't seem to think it was necessary to do that, but her father quickly asserts that, her torture was on the table, presumably as a punishment to Hunt.
It is very interesting that, the Fae government has assured her safety towards the Autumn King. The part of me is like, okay, so, now you give a shit? You haven't given a shit this whole fucking time, but you wanted to make sure, and it's like, this is just another, little, control, little manipulation of, see, I'm good, when you're fucking not.
Yeah, and also, of course, you could assume it's for selfish reasons.
Of course
but
it is.
I would also just take the safety.
Yeah, I mean, please.
Go on and save me.
Please ask about me.
So, just his name being dropped out of his mouth is crushing to her, and she tells him she doesn't want to talk about it. Of course she doesn't. She hasn't been able to bring herself to tell even her mom about what's happened. Her feelings of humiliation at being used by Hunt to get back to the rebellion the feelings are almost unbearable.
Yeah, and she's already back at work.
Yeah.
You can't really process a whole hell of a lot if you got to be thrown right back into work after finding out all this shit.
And also, yeah, she kind of wants to go almost into a robotic mode, just continuing on with her days.
Which I get. I've been there before, bitch.
Oh, yeah. But that's not the only reason he's there to tell her that she's protected.
No.
He wants to know if she's made any progress on finding the horn. She's somewhat surprised that he still cares at this point, informing him that the horn was just a red herring, that Danica was just skeeted out and stole it to piss off her mother. It has nothing to do with anything. He casually, maybe a little too casually, mentions that they, maybe they should find it anyway. Because, I don't know, it's it's fake stuff, so...
we're fake.
We should find it. She's all like, whatever, fine, I don't know. And he then takes a turn I wasn't anticipating.
No. He paused, and then his power buzzed, warping every audio feed before he said,
I loved your mother very much, Okay.
All right, bro. Fine.
Do you Bryce has just got to be like, today?
We got to do this right now? All the other times we could have done this?
He's been, in the text, he's been nothing but a straight villain this whole book.
Yeah.
So it's kind of confusing to me, especially the first time I read it. Where did this come from? She's not impressed and points out that he left a scar on her face, so he must not have loved her very much. And so, immediately, you're like, is he going to somehow prevail as an anti-hero kind of guy? But he physically abused her mother. So
Yeah.
how would that happen?
Or is that how you show your love, you psychopath?
Ugh.
You know, it's like, oh, I know that we've heard this from pieces of shit like that before.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, well, then I don't want you to love me.
No, thank you.
If that's how you're showing
Hard
it.
pass, thank you. So, so she points that out to him.
She could have sworn he flinched.
Do not think I have not spent every moment since that regretting my actions, living in shame. I'm a little perplexed here.
Yeah.
Like, is he going to make an unexpected character arc? I don't know. But okay, this is a fan theory, and you actually brought this up first, which would make sense.
Thank you. I am very smart, but only as an angel.
The fan theory is, are they mates? And that's why he has those strong feelings and still
Especially
couldn't.
shame and all of that of like losing what you found, which is like an insane thing. Because even though it does seem like, oh, mates happen every other day because of these books, we know that that's not the case.
No.
And that it's actually like a huge thing for them to find each other. And I think that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense. That he would feel this like draw to Ember and still, even though he's a prick, he couldn't help but fall in love with her. And this, by the way, if you'll recall, is not that far from Rizon's parents' origin story.
Right. But also, Ember is such a hot name.
I love Ember.
It's such a
it's a great
name. I just feel like if like I saw an Ember on an app, I'd immediately swipe and just like, I'll just try to fuck you just because of your name. And that's very few and far between.
It's a lot to live up to. You better be spicy.
You better be spicy.
He then reveals another shocker. He had planned to make Ember the queen of the Autumn Court. Bryce never knew this until this moment. But
again, right now.
Yeah,
great.
right. She doesn't let her surprise show too much. She tells him that Ember would not have wanted it anyway.
Which is usually the people that should be in power, but we don't
Right.
have to go down that road.
Yeah. But the Autumn King insists that, she absolutely would have. She loved me that much. Okay.
Okay.
So we have to see their story at some point. It will make me nuts if we don't. Because I'm just like, did Ember actually love him?
Right? I want to see it. I want to read it. Give it.
After the next ACOTAR book.
Yes, yeah, he released, please. We're just waiting for that release date. It's got to be this year, right?
I think it's supposed to be.
Right, the end of this year? Everybody's waiting for the ACOTAR release date. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be another one of the people that just, is another monkey on her back, but everybody knows that if I woke up tomorrow as a monkey, I'd be very cute. And I'd be very loud.
Bryce is not in the headspace to get sentimental with her dada.
No, especially again, middle of the workday. It's hard enough for me. I have therapy on a Monday.
I'm writing a script right now.
In the middle of something. It is sometimes so difficult to put down everything, have therapy, and then pick it all back up and jump back in the middle of a day. But doing this, it's like I am at work.
Also, max capacity of intense emotions right now.
Yes.
She's over this. She wants to know what he came for and insinuates that he needs to move it along. He looks at her and sharply tells her that she is like her mother, but that she's also like him.
Okay.
More than she thinks that she is.
It's like, again, too, where it's like all this like elusive. It's like, just say it. Say whatever you've got in there that you want me to know.
Well, I guess at least he's self-aware enough in that moment to say, I'm not saying that as a compliment to you.
You're right.
With those words, he leaves. She stares at the closed door and then maybe somewhat compulsively looks up Hunt on the computer. There's still nothing. No update. No news at all.
As if he had never existed. As if she had dreamed him up.
Oh, God, sorry. We're back with Hunt as the days pass slowly for him. He's aware of his friend's fates, again, having access to the camera footage of the lobby, and some news filters down there. Justinian's body will be dumped into the Istros after 7 days. Very biblical.
All right. I just feel like it's like you should give the people in the torture chambers phones. It's like he's just sitting there all day. Like, let him text Bryce or something. Or play Snood.
That's not, no.
It's gotta make the hours feel like days.
I think that's part of the
Torture.
torture of it.
Ugh, I'd be so bad at no cell phone torture. Give it back. Just one more selfie. Come on.
I guess you shouldn't try to start a revolution.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
It's really, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Be like, go get him, everybody. Come on, everybody.
Victoria is already at the bottom of the ocean.
Jesus.
Hunt is puking his guts out thinking about her suffering.
Good.
I guess he's not feeling bad enough about it because, spoiler, again, nobody finds her.
Nobody's getting her. But again, these stories are not over yet. Maybe it's a future
You know, a
thing.
lot of stuff has happened. Time has passed.
Some time has passed. And
Could
maybe
somebody
nobody's talking about it.
potentially go look for
Maybe
Victoria?
somebody's looking for her, but I mean, we ain't gonna do it because we bad angels.
No, we're not doing it.
We ain't doing it. My wings, we can't be getting our wings wet. Although, do you think that it's like you're like a water bird where it would just just slide right off?
I think so. Or maybe you have to wear like a wing cap.
Oh, that would be difficult to get on. I think that would be even harder than putting in the glue tracks.
Yeah, I think so. Nearly a week has passed and he's gotten no more visitors. His hours are spent itching and in pain as his wings begin the growing back process. He tries not to think about Bryce, wondering where she is as he fights off waves of guilt and sorrow. His isolation ends when he scents a female that sends chills to his blood and body.
The archangel of northwestern Pangera smiled as she appeared before his cell. He'd never get used to it. How much she looked like Shahar.
This seems familiar.
Sandriel said.
Bitch.
I think that's the big
Beautiful
difference.
bitch.
Beautiful bitch. I think the only difference is she probably makes those kind of like every time she intimates something.
You're just
to
trying to
really,
make her less sexy.
Yeah, I mean, because she's so hot, but I feel like you have to distinguish her in some manner.
Well, he says in this passage that they look so strikingly similar, but the biggest difference is what's behind the eyes.
I got daggers in these pupils.
Her eyes are dark and cold, where Shahar's were full of light and life. It'd be really wild to have an evil twin, someone who looks exactly like you, but like drives like a custom Cybertruck.
God, but I always wanted a twin. It was something that
I did too. I was so obsessed with that as a kid.
Obsessed with it as a kid.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because of Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen that was put into our brains so desperately. But I always wanted the Stefan. I wanted more that kind of other spectrum twin.
Oh, you wanted a twin that was like
me, but real sexy, like really mysterious, really elusive, just like, but then of course it would be difficult because I would have to wait for her to pass. Not that I want her to pass, but that would be called Jack A. And big ups to Jack A. I really respect Jack A.
Wait, you're saying you can't be that until she dies?
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I can't try and start calling myself Jack A while the Jack A still lives.
Oh, okay. What if you call yourself Jack A2?
Yeah, bitch boogaloo.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm ready for it. No, that's only if. Oh God, what would you do if all of a sudden, like, I had like a mental break and I was only identifying as this fake version of myself? Because if you think about it, Steve Urkel was probably most likely going through some sort of mental chasm that I think that he was dealing with. Couldn't have just been the science.
You mean the character Steve Urkel or Jaleel White?
Not Jaleel White, only the character.
Okay.
No, everything I've heard about Jaleel White, apparently he's delightful.
Yeah, he seems like a solid guy. So I don't know. So you're saying if you completely went into this other character, would it be the sexy suave character or would it be the evil twin character?
No, it would be the sexy suave
Okay.
character. I don't think I've got enough evil seeping in my pores.
You wouldn't want to like add me to your downline or anything?
No, I just feel like that's so much work. Like, I feel like my other ego would be sexy, but very lazy.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm very hardworking. So I feel like then the other side of that. So like if I just sat here and was like, Natalie Jacquet doesn't want to do the episode. I would also be referring to
Sounds
myself.
sort of like Penny Marshall.
Yeah. Oh, and you could be the Gary to my Penny.
I wish.
Right? Oh.
I think I think maybe in the 90s there just was an influx of twin-based like YA novels and stuff. Did you ever read Sweet Valley Twins
Oh,
books?
yeah. Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
yeah, yeah,
some
yeah.
mystery books and like ghost books I read that were about twins. And
Twins.
like haunted twins.
That was really put into us. I've never really thought about that before.
Yeah.
Is that why we were so obsessed with it?
Maybe.
God, I wanted one so badly. And they also run in my family, so I also was hoping someday I would biologically have twins as well, which apparently it's difficult.
To have twins?
Yeah.
I mean, you mean the process of birthing them?
Like all of it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and the
Sure.
aftermath where you have them, you know.
One of them becomes evil.
They have to. Or sexy.
And then they kill you to take over your money.
You have to. It's the only way to succeed in this world.
It quickly becomes clear that she has come to his cell just to torment him.
I'm evil.
As she taunts him, he only holds her gaze. She pulls out his phone from her pocket.
Oh, uh-oh.
It's not going to be good.
It's a bitch move.
She does some sort of Bluetooth magic, and his phone appears on the TV screen across from his cell where he's been subjected to the security footage from the lobby. Grinning like it's her birthday, Sandriel pulls up the text thread he'd shared with Bryce, which has changed her name, who has changed her name once again, this time to Bryce thinks Hunt is the best.
Oh, just think about the red on her couch. I can't undo thinking about that stained white couch and how she has to see it every day. Because she hasn't spent the time to like sit and really get that out.
No, but even just in this moment with Hunt, all of her other titles for herself were sort of taunting him, and this is just complimenting him. It's like sort of exposing how
think
much
about what you did.
Oof.
Think about it, Hunt.
She had texted him.
I know you're not going to see this. I don't even know why I'm writing to you.
Hunt's mind empties out just knowing that she'd even reached out to him at all.
Oh, God, not to bring this up, but I feel like it is a very similar of like, I keep voicemails from people in the past. Like I keep that kind of stuff from people that we don't have with us anymore.
Oh,
it's just like
same.
having that, or just like having the ability to text someone's number, but at some point the number is going to be given to somebody else. And it's just, God, the like screaming into the universe of this, it hurts.
It does. But Sandriel's just getting started. She taunts him, pulling up his phone's photos, remarking how he looks so common in them. A slideshow begins on the TV. Hunt thinks about how he's never looked through these photos, but as time went by, more and more just kind of normal photos appear interspersed with all of the crime scene photos that he had. Photos that might represent love or home, moments of humor, interest, happiness.
Probably have a work phone and a personal phone, I would say. If you got all those like Moida scenes.
He
and
never
you also
did.
Have your fuck pics.
He
I'm
didn't
just
have
saying,
any until like recent.
Get a burner or something.
He remembers that the photos had begun as a way for them to tease one another, but also no, it wasn't. They were just showing. They were like, oh
They're
yeah, I'm
being
taking this
cutesy.
picture of us because it's so stupid. They became more real to him over time, even playful.
And then some by the river again. He had a vague memory of her asking a passing tourist to snap a few. One by one, the various shots unfolded. First, a photo with Bryce still talking and him grimacing. Then one with her smiling and Hunt looking at her. The third was of her still smiling and Hunt still looking at her, like she was the only person on the planet, in the galaxy. His heart thundered. In the next few, her face had turned toward him. Their eyes had met. Her smile had faltered, as if realizing how he was looking at her. In the next, she was smiling at the ground, his eyes still on her, a secret, soft smile, like she knew and didn't mind one bit. And then, in the last, she had leaned her head against his chest and wrapped her arms around his middle. He'd put his arm and wing around her, and they had both smiled.
Oh, it just rips my heart out. It's so sad.
Especially you're just sitting in the torture room. Because I also am the kind of psychopath freak bitch that will like randomly record Jeff like talking to me or something like that, making little videos. And you know that I do this when we go on vacations. I say death videos, and I like to make videos to remind us of like the good times that we have, but also so that you have the videos so that you can play at the funeral. And then I'm like, everybody, this is going to be really sad someday, but right now we're all having fun. And everybody loves when I make the death videos.
Yes. Yeah, it's fun to think about death on a vacation.
You have to make sure you've got the content.
So this is I think, a beautiful way to describe their changing relationship through him watching these photos and just like how devastating this truly is.
Oh, yeah. And for Sandriel to be the bitch doing this, looking at his private shit and his private feelings.
Yeah. He realizes with his entire being that he had wanted a life with Bryce. A simple kind of life.
Oh my God.
Sandriel
was never gonna have it.
No, and Sandriel thinks she seems to find this hilarious.
I have a bad sense of humor. I'm a bit like a, Jay Leno at the Flappers.
That's an actual comedy club that he goes to all the time around us. That he would ever she finds it funny that he would ever want to just live happily ever after with no kind of blazing glory. Well, Sandriel informs him that's not the hand he was dealt, sadly.
Nope.
He knows now that this is a form of torture because she has news for him. She owns him once again. All
it's
because
a good bitch move, though.
All because he couldn't play by the rules. He could have had his stupid little life and he blew it.
But don't even say that, bitch, because we all know that he never would have. He never could have. He had to kill thousands and thousands and thousands of people just to not be a slave anymore. You think that's going to begat a simple kind of life?
I mean, that's true, but I also do think that he did blow it.
Yeah, of course he did, because, like, I know that he wanted to get so much done, but you're moving too fast, son. You should have thought about all these things.
The thing is that he was promised this shortened deal. He was almost at the end of it. That's the thing. If Micah hadn't offered him that deal, I could see him wanting to make that move. But because he was promised this other end, it's not the best idea.
You're right.
We cut over to Bryce, and she's meeting Rune in a bar that night. She can't help but feel this empty space behind her, a void over her shoulder. She had grown so accustomed to his omnipresence. She's not exactly meeting Rune, more like crashing a hangout he's already having with Flynn, who is off seducing a female, while Bryce, takes a seat next to Rune at the bar. She wanted to thank him in person for, helping her after the whole
of course.
thing. Not because she's dying to see Rune, but because she is truly grateful and also knows it's the right thing to do to go to him and just say, I appreciate that.
But also proud of her because she is not usually the person that reaches out. And like the fact that I really think that this shows how much, even though obviously she's hurting because of her relationship with Hunt right now, but how much the melting of her frozen state was starting to take hold. And I'm so this really shows how far she's come, even just from, I don't want to say the beginning of the book, but from everything happening to the wolf pack. From then on, I feel like this is the first time that she's like, oh, I need people. I need to
somebody
connect.
Everybody is just fucking her over left and right. He tentatively asks her how she's doing. And as far as we know, this is the first time that she opens up about Hunt after everything. She tells him she feels like an idiot and that everyone warned her about him and she ignored it. They chat for a bit and then she goes to leave, but he stops her. He invites her over to his house to watch the upcoming Sunball game. She tries to shrug it off, but he wants to know why she won't open back up to him. He gets her to admit that before Danica, he was her best friend. And the pain of losing all of that is just too much for her. She then goes on to think about, as she's still sitting in front of Rune, what she's just revealed to him, and decides, well, everything else has gone to shit. Fuck it. She agrees to go watch the game with her brother.
Good for you, bitch.
He is obviously overjoyed, and he smiles at her and tells her he'll save her a
Oh
seat.
my God, he's reaching out his hand and she's taking it.
It's very sweet. At chapter 70, Bryce walks back into her apartment from the bar and is surprised to find Fury there sitting on the couch. She asks what she wants while stripping off her work clothes. Fury breaks some news to her. Hunt is being sent back to Pangea with Sandriel.
I own him, bitch.
Bryce's heart stops for a moment. Her mind is tangled with emotions. She tries to tell herself that he deserves this, but knowing what level of torture is awaiting him probably is not really an easy thing to swallow or accept.
No, because she still loves him. Just because this happens, it's like, yeah, all trust is broken. But I think that's some of the worst part about when your trust gets broken is that you wish it also, sometimes it does, but when it doesn't completely shatter the love you have for a person on the inside, it's like, I'd almost rather it all be shattered at once, you know? Just
Totally.
to make it easier. You'd rather hate the person than feel like, oh my God, he's about to go be tortured for ever.
Yeah. And I mean, to be honest, even the people who I have the worst feelings about, I wouldn't want them to go be tortured in a dungeon forever. I just feel like that would be a lot to think about, you know?
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, I would never want that. I think that there is something to the whole but I can mend all of you and then do it all over again that happens in all of these worlds, that I do think some people are destined for it.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm a bitch. Sorry, I guess Sandriel is getting inside of my blood.
Uh-oh.
And
Gotta get that wig off.
live.
Gotta get the
I'm
wig off.
ready to torture. This is what happens, Natalie, when I start dyeing my hair, Natalie. Maybe you shouldn't encourage it, Natalie. I'm
Cut her
ready
hair
to torture. No. I look cute with short hair too, though, so.
It's true. You do. So she's having all of these feelings about Hunt, but she's trying to appear apathetic to Fury, who continues to talk to Bryce as she makes herself busy in an attempt to avoid looking at Fury while they talk. She's moving around the apartment kind of as Fury's revealing all of this stuff. Fury likely sees directly through her apathy and questions whether she and Hunt were together. Because she can scent him all over Bryce, after all. Bryce brushes this off as simply, oh, no, we were just living in the same quarters. There was nothing. Fury's like, right.
Sure.
Okay. Bryce scrounges around in the kitchen looking for a late night meal.
A small, strong hand slammed the fridge door shut. Fury glared up at her.
Don't bullshit me, Quinlan.
God, and then they start kissing.
Fury's
in
hot.
my mind, they kiss.
Yeah, Fury's super hot.
And then Juniper shows up, and it's it's just
Whoa.
we're just having a night. Sometimes it just happens.
All of those documentaries say about girls' sleepover parties.
I've seen a couple of the documentaries, and I'm like, oh, can I get a ticket? I'll take the ride.
They start to get into an argument in the kitchen. Bryce calls her out for ignoring her for 2 years. Fury denies that she was ignoring her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, beach.
I know.
Oh.
She says, I did avoid you because I felt responsible for getting you into trouble, Bryce. And she's talking about how she was doing drugs with them, which is fair. She did provide them drugs that night. She tells Bryce that she feels like when she gets close to people, it's dangerous. Their lives get, threatened.
I say that to people all the time. It's just because they love me so much. I'm like, you don't want to get close. You might love me for keeps.
Great way to get out of a party.
Just start
they're
saying
like,
that.
okay, it's
Yeah,
fine.
all right, I guess don't go. I guess I'd rather you not come if you're going to act like this.
When Bryce angrily points out that she's not seeming to stay away from Juniper,
Damn.
Fury reveals a big ol' surprise.
Fury hissed.
Juniper and I have something that is none of your fucking business.
Bryce refrained from gaping. Juniper had never hinted, never suggested.
I could no sooner stop talking to her than I could rip out my own fucking heart, okay?
Yeah, it sounds gaping. Uh-oh, guess somebody's gaping.
Gaping?
Uh-oh. Well, depends, It depends on what's going on what. Depends on who's going on who.
I don't
don't
think
know.
they're gaping.
No, they're not gaping. But, Bryce is certainly gaping at this point. And
She's gaping her mouth. Right?
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta fill it up.
Oh, it says gaping.
Gaping, yeah.
Got it.
It's why I'm in the world of gaping. You lost me to gaping. But I did finish the reading.
You did.
And I didn't make a gaping joke in the middle of it.
You did. Good job.
So I have control over myself.
You do. So we've learned that Juniper and Fury seem to be in a relationship.
Thank God.
This reveal seems to have elicited the most emotion we've ever seen from Fury. Fury is very cold and calculated from what we know of her, but she clearly has feelings for Juniper.
But she also has to keep everything close to the chest. If you're like a big, super secret,
we don't really
assassin,
know. We don't know what's happening.
We don't know. We just know that she's got to keep everything close to the chest. We're not supposed to know. It's not for us to know.
Pained, Fury explains that she didn't mean to fall in love with all of them, that Bryce and Danica were these two puppies that bounded into her life, and it's obvious she feels responsible for bringing hell into their world.
Well, don't worry, it wasn't all you, bitch.
Yeah. But, again alluding to Fury being much, much older than that.
Yes.
Bryce tells her that that's bullshit, and she really needed Fury when all of this was going on. Fury tells her she's trying to work on herself and these hang-ups. Bryce is unsympathetic and tells her, see ya in 2 years, I guess. Fury gets a text at that moment, and she moves to leave, asking if Bryce wants to get dinner in a week while she's here for the summit. Bryce seems over everything and is like, sure, whatever, obviously, clearly expecting it to not happen. Fury warns her not to act out on the info that she's given her about Hunt, and Bryce plays it cool. Who? Oh, him? Yeah, I don't remember him anymore, really. Ugh, why would I even go after
Man,
him?
it's got to be so difficult just being friends with Fury and having to act so blasé all the time. I'm just so the opposite of blasé that I don't think I could have a friend that was like that at all.
Who? Oh, I don't know.
As I'm just sitting there falling apart, just being like, I loved him, which is how I would be dealing with this. But I'm I'm happy for Bryce that she is able to play cool.
She begins shouting at a man on the phone, Fury that is, calling him a, quote, dickbag on the way out. Bryce watches from the window as Fury gets into a sports car and peels out. What a baddie.
Sexy, sexy, sexy.
Silence fills the apartment. Bryce looks at the space where Hunt sat most nights. She can almost see him there, smiling with his sunball cap on backwards. She makes a decision. She doesn't want to lose yet another friend. Girl, you're already going to go after him. Don't be playing.
Yeah, don't you lie to us. You think that we think that you're not going to do this? We know what you're about to do. Even us angels.
She's still angry with him, and maybe they wouldn't ever recover their relationship, but she couldn't let him meet the current fate the trajectory he's on.
Syrinx whined, pacing in a circle, claws clicking on the wood floor.
I promised Fury not to do anything stupid,
Bryce said, her eyes on Syrinx's branded-out tattoo.
I didn't say I wouldn't do something smart.
That's a
Bryce.
very Bryce Quinlan quote. Okay.
Okay.
You crazy bitch.
Oh, you bitch.
I love you, you crazy bitch.
At chapter 71, it's the day following Sandriel's visit to Hunt, and he is being taken out of his cell. He'd been puking his guts up again, thanks to the news of his future. He'll be taken to Sandriel today. And after the summit, he'll head back to the dungeons of Pangea. Just in case he thought of any sort of resistance, The slideshow of him and Bryce played throughout the whole night.
Damn.
A reminder of who would be hurt if he fucked about.
She aura framed this motherfucker. She was like, I'm not going to upload any other ones. Oh, hell no. You got to look at the same 5, which is what I imagined. It's why I've never purchased one. That what I would do if I had one is I imagined I would upload like 5 pictures, completely forget to ever do it ever again. And it's just going to be the same 5 pictures forever and ever.
I mean, we're not sponsored by them, so I'm not going to give them a compliment.
There you go.
No, I will. I do. I like ours. It's nice.
I just think that, I mean, if we could use it in a torture aspect.
Scenario.
Yeah, I
Sure,
feel like then we could really, because they're writing them off. If we could use them for the torture screens that we keep in the network.
Oh, do you think she gets to write those off in her taxes?
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think they keep buying all the TVs for? And they're like, we must. It's for the torture, not for the Super Bowl parties. Write it off. Tax season.
It was sunset when the guards came to retrieve him. They lead him to the elevator, and he's greeted by the smiling face of Pollux Antonius. Boo!
Boo. Boo.
Also known as the Hammer, Pollux is one of the most cruel and sadistic of Sandriel's Triari. Hunt despises him. He notices that the elevator that they're taking down stops at the lobby and not towards the platform, towards the skies where the angels would fly usually. He realizes Sandriel wants him to walk through the lobby because she wants him to see the rotting corpse of his friend and fellow rebel.
It's quite a flex. I'll give it to me. It's a pretty good flex. I do think like he's been watching this entire time that he's been in the torture room.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I guess to really like smell it,
Yeah.
to be it, to feel it, you know?
It's unfortunate for people who are just trying to go to their office job.
I think that we talked about this last week because just like how stinky it must be in there. And you know it don't just stop at the lobby. Like I'm sure it permeates the entire, but I guess it wouldn't happen because I'm trying to think. Lots of castles, and again, generic. Lots of castles have torture chambers underneath, and I guess you don't smell the reek of the torture chambers throughout the castle.
Oh yeah, I think
do ya?
Castle times everything smelled like shit all the time.
Well, there was lots of mud and everything, but I guess like for like modern day torture, you know, I guess they don't keep it under the castle. Like, is it more like a soundproof room where they can smell proof it now?
Let's ask the United States government.
Thanks, government. Where do you keep your
Whoa.
torture rooms, government?
Think about it. We do. We're
I mean,
we're
you know they
horrible.
got
We're
yeah.
monsters.
It's like it's not a joke.
No, it's not.
But I'm laughing because I'm a bad bitch angel today.
That's right. Angels are gathered in the lobby for the moment that he's passing through. Hunt sees Isaiah and Naomi, who subtly nod their goodbyes to him.
I don't know why in this. It would be so annoying to see all the angels, especially if all the angels were like in an a cappella choir. And I just imagine like in their spare time, they're all like, you know, it's like ba 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 ran, ma, ma, ba, and it's like they're all working on their different.
So you're seeing them as like a church choir?
Yeah, and I feel like what else do they do besides just being mean?
I think they just drink and fuck and stuff.
Which sounds great, but I feel like you gotta have something that's just for you.
Not all the angels are bad.
I know, but like, how do you not feel like all the angels are bad? I feel like anything that is, I'm talking about angels specifically and not Malakim, and I think that I need to make like a very big distinction.
Well, archangels are different.
Archangels are different, yes. That like specifically in my brain, I think all angels are bad in the world.
Even Isaiah?
Yeah, sucks.
Whoa.
And he has to work his way out of it in the same way that like a lot of people think that pit bulls are bad, but they're not. Not all pit bulls are
Aw.
bad.
Aw.
But sometimes it lives within them, and don't treat anyone poorly. Don't treat any dogs poorly.
It's
Don't
the
treat any angels poorly.
people's fault around the angels.
It's the people's fault.
So he realizes this group of angels is not really here. The majority of them are not here to mock him or jeer, but to sort of almost honor him in a way, as much as they are able to under the thumb of the Asteri.
And they're going to sing him out. Ba 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 ba. And they're like, why this song? You could have like come up with anything
like
else.
maybe like Prince or something.
Love potion number 9. Do do wah, do 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 wah. My mom was in a barber shop. quartet.
She's a girl. That's crazy.
They're not allowed to do that. That's why they sewed up her vagina. And I was like, no, not to my mom. She just wants to sing.
Everyone knows girls can only be in beauty shop quartets. Dread,
Beauty shop quartets.
Dread fills him as he makes his way across the lobby floor towards the front door, towards his horrible fate. Wait! A cry is heard echoing through the lobby.
No, she couldn't be here. He couldn't bear for her to see him like this, knees wobbling and a breath away from puking again. Because Pollux strode beside him, and Sandriel prowled in front of him, and they would destroy her.
So Bryce has appeared in front of all of these angels, which is, again, bad planning, I think. But he can't stop what's occurring, and he watches in horror as she runs towards them, towards Sandriel. Gasping for air, she begs Sandriel not to take him. When Sandriel smirks and tells her he's already been paid for.
You know what I said? He's already being paid for.
Very Muppety.
Thank you.
Bryce pulls a check out of her pocket and offers her 97 million gold marks.
Whoa, maybe she's the Dr. Evil.
97 million gold
Thank you
marks.
for saying it properly.
Timely joke.
Like most of my jokes, guys. I don't know if you've noticed after all these episodes, but I'm like an angel in every year, you know? The floor rocked beneath Hunt. People gasped. Pollux blinked, eyeing Bryce again.
Stop looking at her,
Pollux?
Pollux. It's a check from Jessica Roga. Bryce points out that it's 12. I can hear him screaming.
I can hear your husband just screaming. Do you need me to scream more so you feel more comfortable? Oh, my belly. Oh, I take my man nipples out because I can. Does that make you feel like you're home? You're working, Natalie. Just always thinks that like Henry's always been the same Henry, because I remember him getting home from like high school and he would walk in the house. Before he would even reach the kitchen, he would take off his pants because he wanted to be in his boxer shorts.
Good Lord.
And I imagine he still does this in your home to this day. Or does he make it to the bedroom?
He usually changes into soft pants.
You gotta have soft pants in the house. No outside pants in the house.
Everyone knows that. So Bryce points out that it's 12 million more million gold marks than what Sandriel paid for him. Bryce pulls the amulet off her neck and offers it as well, asserting that it alone is worth 3 million gold marks. Sandriel takes the necklace from her, but continues her snake smile. She muses to Hunt how the pictures in his phone must have been telling the truth of their love. Even though she punishes Hunt for his love of Shahar, she seems to take offense to Hunt's burgeoning love for another woman, female.
She clenched her fist around the amulet. The Archesian amulet melted into streams of gold on the floor. Something ruptured in Hunt's chest at the devastation that crumpled Bryce's face.
Damn, cold-hearted snake.
Bitch, she is a snake. It's like, if you didn't want it, just say it. Why you gotta do that?
Because she's a bitch. Bitch for life. Hunt dares to speak. In this moment, he's so devastated. He tells Bryce quietly to get out. Go away. She ignores him, directing her attention to Sandriel. She drops to her knees and offers herself in Hunt's wake.
As if I would want something like you.
Horror rushes through Hunt. That was very good.
Thank you.
He will not allow her to do this. Before Hunt can make a move, Rune's voice carries across the lobby. Don't you dare. Rune, with Declan and Flynn on either side of him, appear before the angels. Bryce also ignores Rune as she's ignoring Hunt, and again begs Sandriel to take her in his place.
Keep begging louder, faster, more.
Sandriel, also ignoring the males, steps towards Bryce, amused and intrigued. She asks her again if she really would make this exchange under no coercion. Yes, Bryce says, with no hesitation. Sandriel, please,
Hunt begged. The air rippling from his throat choked off his words.
Sandriel's put a wind wall against all of the males to keep them from stopping. Bryce.
Wind wall!
Wind wall!
Man, a wind wall would come in handy, dude. And be like, fuck you, wind wall. In the middle of an argument, wind wall. Can't have it. Oh, I want a cookie. You want to stop me? Wind wall. Get through that wind wall, bitch.
Oh, it would be. You could blow them about any way you'd want.
Oh, I want to be the hurricane.
Fun. Hunt feels ill as he watches Pollux's delight at the prospect, no doubt envisioning every sickening act he could take out on Bryce. Smiling, Sandriel muses that most would think her a fool for making this exchange, a half-breed nobody for releasing the most powerful warrior this side of the Istros.
Pollux smiled again. Hunt bared his teeth at him as Sandriel stroked a hand over Bryce's cheek, wiping away her tears.
But I know your secret, Bryce Quinlan,
Sandriel whispered.
I know what a prize you are.
Sandriel stroked Bryce's face again.
The only daughter of the Autumn King. Everyone shook.
What?
Hunt almost collapses in shock. Flynn and Declan didn't even know, apparently, by their reactions. Rune, not cousin. Rune, brother. Rune, who has now decided to take on...
Saying that to themselves inside of, Rune, not cousin. Rune, brother.
That's how I imagine Hunt is processing.
Oh, yeah.
Rune, who has now decided to make an appearance of taking on heirs in order to end this. He kind of goes into his Fey royalty zone. He steps past the magic barrier Sandriel had set up and coldly demands she step away from Bryce, that he lays claim on her.
I mean, it's a cool move.
I mean, coming out of Rune's mouth.
Yeah, bobble, bobble.
Bryce gapes at Rune, furious for him stepping in and involving himself. But what did you think he was going to do?
Yeah.
Just leave you there to go get tortured forever?
Yeah, somebody had to stop you, you crazy bitch.
Again, not a good plan Bryce has come up with. He should be stepping in.
Yeah.
Like, in what world do you think that Sandriel wouldn't still find a way to get Hunt even after you sold yourself to her?
That's the thing. She already got him back. Like, you think that this whole thing ain't gonna happen again?
This is Feyre under the mountain all over again.
It is. It really is. And I think that this is also a portion of why, and it is difficult to say, Bryce of the three big series, is my least favorite of the big female characters.
I think most people agree with you.
Yes.
I don't know who's mine. I don't know the
who
order.
your least favorite is? You don't know what your order is?
Yeah, I don't know. Because I like Bryce. I do. I know people hate her, but
It's just that, like, I feel like in the way that, like,
my hair.
I know, my hair's also been, the wig. The wig.
The illusion's broken.
Everybody's gonna know.
My hair came out from under the wig.
No, we are bad angels, all right? We are not human beings, you bastards. Batstards.
Batstards. Nice.
I forgot what I was saying because
Yeah, I
then
don't
I
know
got
what you
so
were talking
busy
about.
trying to just thinking about bats. And,
Why Bryce is your least favorite?
Oh yeah, right. And I think it's because so many of these things, like in the other books, you see that like, oh, they've gotten themselves in this like weird situation, but like an Aelin would have thought 17 steps ahead. And Bryce does do this sometimes,
Yeah.
but every once in a while she is more of a like makes a rash decision in a way that I feel like Aelin was always so more calculated.
Sure. And it seems like maybe Bryce and Hunt are both falling in love and unable to think clearly.
Yeah.
Maybe you could put it that way, but it's annoying.
Also, a lot is going on, and when your
Sure.
brain is underneath a lot of mental weight, I understand. I'm talking in real life. Yes, there's a lot of shit going on, and of course, they're gonna act weird in different ways. But like in the books, I'm like, yeah, I know it's like a lot going on, but like,
Bryce, for whatever reason, doesn't seem to understand that Rune's doing this out of necessity, that he's disrespecting her because he is saving her freaking life. She lunges at Rune and shoves him. You are a female of my bloodline,
Rune said coldly.
You are my property and our father's until you marry.
Which is like, I don't like that rule, but in this scenario, pretty great.
You know he doesn't feel like that
No,
way.
of
He's doing it
course.
because he's pulling rank. She looks to Flynn and Declan to appeal to them. But girl, are you serious? You think that they're going to be like, nah, let it go. Come on, let it go in there.
Especially like, even if, let's say she did, like if Sandriel did say like, okay, I'll take you instead of him. Like you just said, you think that she's not going to fucking get him? So think about this.
She just melted her fucking necklace.
Cha.
Bryce lashes out again at Rune, telling him she'll never forgive him. Oh, for saving your life? What a day.
So sorry.
I guess no sunball game. He keeps his cold veneer as he tugs her away from Sandriel. Hunt watches Bryce's face, tries to memorize it. She reaches for him, screaming that she'll find a way to free him. Pollux finds this amusing.
Hunt stared at her outstretched fingers, the desperate hope in her eyes. No one had ever fought for him. No one had ever cared enough to do so.
Oh, no.
I know, but we're like so mad at him right now, Nat. We can't. We have to be like, but you did this, and you got yourself here, didn't you?
As she continues to cry out to Hunt and Rune drags her away, Sandriel picks up her walk again towards the front, towards the awaiting motorcade.
That is the one great thing about being a really mean angel, is that you have a motorcade that takes you everywhere.
Just, like, shows up.
And that would be pretty great. And
It
be
would
like,
be.
you have to like choose like, oh, which car am I gonna get into?
I just like that you don't have to wait. You know, you don't have to go to a parking spot. You don't have to wait for like a valet or anything. Like, the car's just there.
Yes, and in fact, if the car's not there, a bunch of people get murdered.
Heads will roll.
How
that went.
I think I like it.
Well, it's
Yep.
the wig.
Now I'm evil.
It's the highlights.
The wig thinnered me.
Whoa.
I wish.
Hunt is in tow, of course, with Sandriel. She mockingly tells Rune he should have slit his sister's throat like she did. Hunt agonizes over Bryce's cries, but is forced into following Sandriel. In a last desperate attempt to prevent Bryce from seeking him out for her own safety, Hunt says, filled with despair, that she means nothing to him, that she should never go looking for him, that they are done. He gets into the armored car. We cut to the same moment from Rune's POV. He feels relief flood him to watch the car recede into the horizon that contains Sandriel. But Bryce isn't feeling that way. She screams at him for interfering, but he's not having it, and I agree with him.
Yeah.
He's not supposed to watch you sell your body to a prison camp, Bryce.
And you will forgive him someday.
Yeah. She looks as though she's about to start swinging on him, but then she just tells him to go fuck himself and spits at his feet. I do understand that Bryce is watching what is potentially the love of her life being carted off to Torture Town, but he's technically being a very good brother.
Because it's like, are you really thinking about what they're going to do to you if you really gave yourself over to Sandriel? Like, you remember like the darkness that haunted Hunt? Think about that. So, or is it like does it like flash through your brain of like, well, at least I'm just a human, so I'll die.
Maybe.
But I know that
But
like
they could probably
but they
heal
can heal
you.
her, I'm
Yeah.
sure, like no matter what. So that can really get extended. But I guess maybe there is a portion of that of like, well, at the end of the day, at least I'm just a human and I will succumb at some point.
Just, if you crucify me, I'll die in a couple days.
Right?
She jumps on her bike and screeches out of there, leaving Rune with his stunned friends. Declan and Flynn are in disbelief that he would have kept Bryce, being his sister, a secret from them. Secretly, Rune fears that if the world knows about her and she gets crowned princess, that his terrible oracle reading will indicate some awful fate for her. But he doesn't reveal that to his friends, only tells them that he was forbidden from speaking of it and he couldn't risk it. He shakes off their questions, telling them they need to find Bryce right now. He has something to say. We cut to Bryce's POV. She has taken her scooter to the shore opposite the bone quarter.
You didn't say it right. The bone quarter.
The bone quarter.
Thank you.
Seemingly out of alive people to talk to. Her heart full of despair, she speaks quietly to Danica, the way someone might talk to a gravestone. She tells her everything has gone wrong and she doesn't know what to do. She gets to her knees in a sort of prayer position, bows her head in silence, seemingly beyond words. After a time, she whispers to Danica that she wishes that she was here. The world seems to quiet down at the words.
A chill crept toward her, through her. Every sense, fey and human, went on alert. She scanned the mists, waiting, praying for a black boat. She was so busy looking that she didn't see the attack coming. Didn't twist to see the Crystallos demon leaping from the shadows, jaws open, before it tackled her into the eddying waters.
Now we have a Crystallos here.
It's just like there's so much going on.
Do we need to do this right now, Crystallos?
Yes, and it's like we are having a moment, and it's been a day. Can you just wait until tomorrow, or at least, if you're gonna attack me at this point, bring me a cocktail. I need a little bit of a cocktail. Because if you're talking to your dead friend that may have killed all your other friends,
Yeah.
have a drink.
Yeah, I guess she's still not believing that because I feel like you wouldn't want to talk to them after that.
Yeah, and I imagine, again, we know that she hasn't had the opportunity to process any of this yet. So there's only so much, and I feel like when your brain is undergoing like a lot of change or a lot of like trying to, and you haven't processed all of it, I feel like only portions of it become fact in your brain.
Sure.
And I feel like she's still working with the like, that can't be a fact. I need more from that before I believe that, which is understandable because think of all the juking that has happened in this book thus far. How do you believe anything outright?
We don't know. We don't know what to believe.
No, we don't. All we know is that our heart is broken and we will never recover.
And now we're getting eaten.
Might be for the best.